Here we go. Here we go. It's time. We are in Portugal today. How exciting. One of my favorite tracks. I just simply cannot wait. This track is so much fun to drive. I'm going to be a little bit jealous of the racers here today. But I think we're in for some good. This is a track that can create some chaos. So, exciting stuff. Pretty pumped. I think we got a pretty good field here today as well. I think we have some championship competitors. Oh, me too. Me too, Rhino. We are looking good today. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull up the championship standings and update once we get into qualifying a little bit here. Let me see what we got. So yeah, we got Dominic is here as always. We got Blitz up in there. We got, I want to say, Alex is finally racing with us. So that's exciting. I know he's been gone for the last little bit, but he's back now. Let's see how he performs today in his opening race of the season. And he's out quickly. Oh wait, no, that is not him. I thought he was in a, wait a minute. Okay, I thought he was in a Ferrari. He's changed to Aston Martin now, but he's out there. Let's go on board with him. He's on his outlap here, so we're gonna have a little bit of time, but let's get some track data up and running for us here. We want the telemetry. Yeah, we'll do it today. How about it? So this is a tricky corner right here, actually, because most of the time you're not really expecting, how much you have to really brake. As you see, he's trying to get them tires warmed up before he goes here on this hot lap. So here he goes. He's coming around the final turn here before the start finish. And here we go. And by the way, just for anybody who's tuning in who maybe isn't, hello, welcome everyone. Happy to see you here today. This is a sprint weekend, so we're gonna have qualifying, sprint race, real race. Unfortunately, they don't do the sprint qualifying like in real life, which is fine. I'm okay with that, actually. There he goes around in sector 2 here. This is a tricky section of the track, actually, because a lot of, especially in Portugal, because sometimes it'll be raining and the grip is bad if this track gets wet. And the sky's looking a little ominous right now. It's kind of gray, so I'm not sure what the forecast is. Here he goes down to the third gear. So this is one where sometimes you may have to gear down to help yourself make that turn like he just did there. Sometimes you can stay up in fourth and even fifth gear if you're really, really on it. But it is a tricky area. Alrighty, let's see the time he's going to lay down. It's going to be decent. He's at 1:11 right now. So, 1:18.7, I'm sure he's probably not super thrilled with that, but that's a solid lap to start for sure. It's gonna do well for him. I'm sure he'll move on. We're gonna go to Blitz now. He's in the Red Bull today, as usual. In this part of the track, that hill is so fun. I don't know why. It makes it. I'm sure the drivers in real life have a little bit of a stomach drop there. car goes soaring off the track. Got a little bit of traffic actually here coming around the last couple of turns. It could be unfortunate. Luckily, gets out of the way there. So this is going to be a little bit of a better time, I think, than Alex set. He's going to come through with a 1:16.6, so that's actually really good on this track. That is good for pole at the moment. Dominic going through with a 1:16.8 as well. So give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up these championship standings, and we'll get everything sorted here. So as it stands before this race, we have Dominic in first by a mile. I mean, over double second place's point. He has 119 points in the standings versus 57 from Rizal. And I'm not even sure Rizal. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I think Rizal is actually Slender. Some of these names are confusing. People have different names in Discord and actually on the game, on the EA and stuff. So it's a little bit of a confusion there. But we got Crody in the Haas, who I don't think is racing today. So that's going to be unfortunate. He's actually in third place right now. And then we got Kane in the fourth. EJ, who we got in the McLaren down there, he is in fifth place. Fuzzle in sixth place. Melvin, who is another person not racing today, they are in seventh place, and they're rapid. If they were here, I think they've been out a couple of races. They usually will be up there with the best of them. I think, honestly, the few races I've commentated, they've had some really unlucky such situations, so that's been unfortunate. But they are seventh in the standings, and then we have the two Ferraris, Jarv and Trev, and I think only one of which is racing, which is Trev. And then to round out the top 10 is actually a reserve driver, Daglib. I don't know how to say that name. I'm not sure if they're near you. I don't see them. But let's find out. I'm gonna look at our reserves who are racing today. I don't think so. So really, it's a fight for the podium at this point. That is still very much in the cards for a lot of drivers out here. The problem is going to be getting these let's see, we got a sector 3 right here from Nick. Let's see how he's looking. It's not a great lap, actually, and he must have had some trouble at some point. I'm not sure. But that will put him solidly in the last place. So he's going to look to improve on that. I'm sure he will. That's just not... I'm not sure exactly what happened on his lap, but I think he's actually maybe trying to go again even potentially here. This is one of those tracks, you have ERS, but you don't necessarily need it to be quick. This is a hard track to get that ERS pumping out because there's so many corners where you're slowing all the way down, and you don't want to get that too much wheel spin, or else you'll take yourself into a wall pretty quickly here. So we still got Blitz on pole up there. Dominic is on an out lap, so he's going to be looking to improve on that. He wants to get that first place position going into the sprint. That's pretty big on. This is a hard track to pass on. I mean, you can definitely get it done, but it's not the easiest. There's so many corners, so you have to beware of the reckless drivers going through. So this is going to be much better than his previous lap, so that I'm sure he'll be happy with this one going through. He's even going to move up a few spots, it looks like. 117.5, so that puts him all the way up in the 5th. Wow, that's actually quite a jump there from from where he was. So that's a solid lap from Nick. He's going to be happy with that, I think. As we got just under 9 minutes remaining, you can see he's doing his best to dive out of the way there on some of these guys doing their laps. So we got Trev coming through on his hot lap here. Potentially, this may not be a hot lap actually. I could be wrong, but I think he's going to try to improve on his last one. He did not beat his previous time. Guys, I know I keep barking up the same tree with this argument, but it really bothers me still that I can never edit my my on-screen. Oh, as we have someone spun out there in a Haas. That is no good. Not what you want to see, but we are here with the Ferrari right now, not the Haas. Hopefully they'll get it figured out. Luckily, we're only in qualifying, so they got plenty of time. But yeah, it annoys me how big, like no one, it's way too large. We can all see what time it is. Even if it was half the size, I think we'd still be able to see everyone's lap times. He's gonna come through here oh, okay, he goes into the pits, not liking what he's seeing. Down on the Delta. We're going to Fuzzle here, going through Sector 3. This feels like an out lap. I'm not sure what's happened here. He's gonna try to go again. Looks like. With that 30% ERS, it doesn't look like a lot, but it is manageable. You could definitely improve his time doing that. So, oh, and that, well, it didn't seem to invalidate his lap, but I'm sure in his head he invalidated. That is unfortunate. Let's go on board to the Williams here. Heavy on the brakes for that hairpin corner. As you can see, he's on an out lap, so he's not using very much battery, not pushing it to the limit like he maybe could be, but I want to see. Here we go. Here's someone on a hot lap right now. We got Slender. Now this is one of our championship contenders. This is Rizal usually in our championship standing, so he's within the top 5. He can definitely make it onto a podium right now, or by the end of the season at least. He's definitely fighting for a spot. So someone to look out for here. He's coming through Sector 2 here. He's looking pretty decent so far actually. Again, coming through this tough corner, it's hard to judge the braking zone there because it's a little uphill. It's hard to see. As you can see there, he's a little bit over a tenth under his previous time, so that's a good improvement actually. He's only a few hundredths out from the time in front of him. So, see what he can do here. Oh, as he dives into the pits, so he wasn't a fan of what he was seeing there. Fair enough. He goes into the pits, wants that new set of soft tires. I don't blame you. So I'm not sure what's happened here. This isn't. We've joined into Dominic's onboard. And he seemed to have a little bit of a scenario just happening there. If anybody saw that, there was a Haas that came out of nowhere, and he was not even sure if he was on the track at the time, but I'm sure he will be looking to go again here. As you can see, his battery is charging back up here. He's got a Haas in front of him, so the Haas lets him go. Smart man. You do not want to be the guy impeding the championship leader. I'll tell you that much. So he's actually going to dive into the pits too, as we're getting into crunch time. So I'm assuming most drivers are coming in, getting that last pair of soft tires so they can go out before the end of qualifying here. Do we have anyone on track? Let's see. We have Raging Rhino out here driving, but I saw that he was almost a second behind his previous Delta, so that's not great. But again, I think mostly everyone's trying to dive back to the pits at this point. It's not worth risking. Need those new tires. Oh, here we go. Here's someone who's going to the pit. Oh no! What's happened here? Well, this is an interesting strategy from the Alpine. Yes, maybe they're on their last set already, so, or even, doesn't even have to be their last set. They're on a fresh set right now, so maybe they're just trying to make sure they're already on track and don't have to worry about the timing later. Fair play. But we are going to move along here. Let's see who else we got. We got some outlaps starting now, so it's going to be a little bit of a busy track here in a few minutes. We got Khufu about to enter into Sector 2 here. As you can see, he went a little bit too low into the gears there. He had to go all the way down into first to make that corner. That's going to hurt him coming out. It's going to be hard to get your timing right on the upshift afterwards. So, oh, jeez, Louise. See, that is exactly why that corner is the worst. How are you can't see that car until it's almost too late. We just almost had an accident there. That is going to be unfortunate, but I think both of these drivers were waiting on their laps anyway, so it should be fine. I think I saw the Delta in the top right. He was not making a better time anyway, so he's going to go again here. 80% BRS, more than enough to make it through a hot lap. So our leaders remain the same since I think their first laps they set, actually. I'm not sure if anyone has actually improved. Yeah, 1:16.6 for Blitz and a 1:16.8 for Dominic. So we'll see if Dominic can improve on that. As a matter of fact, we're actually going to go on board Dominic because he is getting ready to start his hot lap. So we're going to remove the board for now. This is a big lap right here for Dominic, so we'll see how he goes. He's coming into turn one. Again, you want to keep as much speed as possible because the less you have to shift down, the more speed you can maintain going into this little section right here, but looking pretty good here. He's actually improved by a 1/10 so far, so that's pretty solid. He's going to look to keep pushing here and try and get that even quicker. These turns are so hard to do. It's really hard to nail the grip on this track. It's a tough one for sure. Down to 4th gear. About to enter into Sector 3. Coming around one of the final corners. He's looking pretty good. This Ferrari needs to get the heck out of the way or else we're going to have some issues. He's actually may catch a little bit of a tow there. And there you go. So 1:16.3. So that'll move Dominic up in the pole. As we're going to find out if Blitz can take it back as we come through the final corner. The Alpha Tower is being a little sketchy in front of him. And not enough. He's going to be a 10th off. 1:16.4. Close. What a good lap from those two, though, for sure. Fuzzle here is going back into the pits. He'll take his third place start. And we are one step closer to the race. We got a sprint first, so we got, I think, 11 laps on this track, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to see. What did you get? 6? Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, I can't remember how it works in this game. I haven't done a ton of sprint races, but I think you're starting 6th. I think where you finish in the sprint will help you out with your actual race start. So yeah, that's not bad. I'll take anything within the top 10, honestly. And you got 11 laps in the sprint. Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you for confirming that. Yeah, so we're not too bad here. As you can see, our final standings from qualifying here, we got Dominic on top, Blitz and Fuzzle to round out your top 3, followed by Trev and Kane, Raging Rhino, Nick, Mac, EJ, and Slender in the top 10. We're going to move on to the sprint here. This is a track where staying clean is really important because there's more than likely going to be some chaos. So you got to try to keep your nose out of it as much as possible. 5th is pretty solid. Yeah, that's good. PB on this track. Yeah, Kane, that's. I honestly don't even know what my time trial is on this track. I'd have to look. That's a good time though for you. 5th is a good spot to be. I mean, again, this track is going to end up being more about trying to stay out of accidents. It's what most races become in this game, but 5th is not bad. As I'm not sure. Maybe we're just loading here. I'm not sure where I'm on the screen for, but hopefully it'll load here shortly once everyone gets connected. Here we go. So it's time for the sprint. We got a formation lap. And I want to say this is something you have to be careful with. I think they fixed it in an update recently where it won't mess up anyone's races or DNF if someone has some contact, but so really we need to be looking at the midfield here. I'm going to be honest, this is Dominic's race to lose. It seems it's that way pretty much every week. He's the fastest one here. It's not very close, to be honest. Like, it is close. Blitz is pretty close. But in terms of race speed, like, Dominic really just seems to have it. He's all over it. So I'm going to try to follow him as much as possible, but again, the midfield is going to be where all the action's at, where all the accidents are at, the stuff that you want to see on the stream. But for now, on the formation lap, we aren't too worried about any of that. Gotta warm up those tires here. This is, again, grip is so important on this track. It's not one that's very, very easy to nail, especially in race pace, because you're going to be trying to push, and you got people behind you that are going to be trying to pass you as well. So and be on the limit. So you come around the final corner here. Everyone's going to line up, and we will be ready to race. I'm so jealous of everyone today. I love this track so much. I wish I could be here, but commentating is my duty, and I will do it to the best of my ability. So you can see everyone is getting lined up here on the track. Interesting starting position from Puzzle there. He had a little bit of an angle, but I think he's straightened out now, so we're good to go. The last couple of cars are filing in here. Uh-oh. We had a DQ. That is not ideal. Okay, wait. He seems to be back. Okay, he just DQ'd from, thank God. Okay, so they did fix the glitch. That's good. And the lights are out. It's time for the sprint race in Portugal. We got moves early. We already have... Oh my God, look at that corner one. That is scary stuff right there. We have a couple cars get pushed wide. Oh, we got the Alpha Towers side by side. You guys need to be careful, your teammates. We got some of them on the medium tires. That could prove to be a little bit of a 200 IQ play, depending on the track conditions. As we have two Williams touch right there, if you manage to see that. We'll go get on board with the Ferrari here. And we're going to have some interesting moments, I imagine. This is, again, this corner right here that you just saw is a blind one, to say the least. So you really got to be careful. We'll switch to an onboard here. I'm going to get the race menu pulled up here for a second, realizing it all turns off every time I forget. So we're on board here with Trev, who's trying to catch the leaders right now, who are actually pulling away from the pack already over a second gap, and that's going to be unfortunate. Trev's going to want to push into that because EJ is right on his tail. So once ERS gets activated here on the next lap, we're going to have some overtaking, I'm sure. As you can see, Kane actually picks up a penalty already, so track limits have been already coming after some people here. As you can see, actually, Trev has a little bit of struggle on that exit there, the turn. Going to give EJ a chance to pull within striking distance here. He's probably going to be looking to pass him here in the next lap or so. Because again, you don't want to get Dominic and Blitz. They're going to start pulling away. The question is, if you can get within their DRS and stay with them, then you essentially are going to be using their speed against the rest of the grid, and that's where you want to be. But it's going to be difficult. They're already within almost 3 seconds behind the leaders. Oh my goodness. As you can see, EJ goes for the aggressive overtake there. Trev had a little bit of a moment around the corner. And these two going wheel to wheel up at the front here. A little bit of a squeeze on the inside, so Blitz is going to have to back out of that one. But here comes the DRS. So he's going to be using that to his advantage for sure. You can see he's getting close to that 1 second mark. Dominic is probably going to be pushing that battery. He's actually not. As a matter of fact, this is a little bit of a shocking development here. Dominic is very well positioned himself actually here with the battery. He has almost double the amount, so I don't want to give that away to anyone. I hope they're not listening. I think Dominic has his own stream going on right now, so I know he's not, but I doubt he cares much. He's just trying to win the race. So EJ will be on the hunt here to try and get back up to blitz. We got Fuzzle and Kane behind are going to be both looking to stay within DRS of the front pack. We got even Alex up here. He's going to be making some moves. This is his first race, so he's got to make a statement here if he wants to get into the points conversation here. You can see we got a little bit of lag there, but seems to have cleared itself up. And Trev is seeming to have an issue. I'm not sure what's happened, but he's dropped all the way into 7th now, and I think he's struggling with grip here. Doesn't surprise me. Again, this is one of those tracks that if you can't, it's got to be very precise on the gas and the brakes, because you can easily cause yourself way more harm than good. We got Rhino is actually on Trev's tail now, so he's going to be looking to make a move here. Ooh, watch out. That's a little bit of a risky move. Don't want to dive bomb from that far back, but he will be looking to make a move. As you can see, yeah, Trev is really struggling, I think, to get the grip here. Having some oversteer issues. Not sure if this is setup related or something else happened early on, but I imagine Raging Rhino will be going for the overtake here, and he does. Although, look at that, Trev is going to push back. He's got the battery advantage right now, so he's definitely going to be trying to hold him off as long as possible. We just need him to be able to push back up into the ERSs. We have a little bit of a moment up there. See, Kane goes wide, and Alex is able to push through into 5th, so he is making great progress here. I think he started in 11th, so that's a good race so far. Let's move back down the pack a little bit. Slender seems to be struggling slightly. He has lost contact with the group in front, so we have two different packs right now. We got the leaders in the front who are actually passing each other. As you can see, Blitz tries to go around the outside. Dominic gives him the room, and he's through. In the final couple of turns, Blitz is able to take the lead. I think Dominic is probably happy about that, actually, because he's going to have ERS now, or DRS, I'm sorry. Oh, a little bit of a lag spike there, but we're good. He's going to make it through pretty easily into the first turn. He had a little bit of a lockup there, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I wish I could see the back tires, but we seem to have a Haas in big trouble here. He couldn't even get lapped in the sprint race. That is not what you want to see. Not entirely sure what happened. He's obviously had a moment. Him and his other Haas teammate have both been exiled to the back of the pack, unfortunately for them, so their race is more than likely ending without any points. However, the focus remains... Actually, we've had a little bit of a split up here, so the pack that was originally kind of the second group of cars has spread out a ton. I'm not sure what's happened here in the last lap, but field is getting spread. We're going to move down. Actually, I see a little bit of a battle happening here. We got a Mercedes chasing after the Williams. So these two will be battling going into this lap. He's going to... A little bit of touch in there. I think he just managed to get that DRS, so he's going to be happy with that. As you can see, the Williams is starting to flash, so... Mercedes tries to get through with DRS alone, but his battery's going to come back to haunt him, I think. We got a lot of flashers already in this race. No, not very much battery conserving happening here, except for our front boys. They are racing and racing hard. We're going to stay with them here. They're having a good little battle. I'm enjoying this. As they come through the final couple of turns in Sector 2, and we'll be into Sector 3 now. As you can see, like, how lightly they are on the brake. You have to really be careful about it, because if you're over braking, that's just so much more time you're losing. As you can see, like, Dominic has just barely feathers the brake through some of these corners and uses almost like downshift more to help stop his car over the actual brake pedal. As you can see, he's going to go through there easily. The help of DRS and battery. Blitz will be fighting back here into Sector 1. We're going to have another DRS zone up here, so we'll see if there's another pass made. We're going to move back. We're going to go on board. We lost a little bit of time there, actually, through that corner. Not exactly sure what happened there. I literally switched cameras and had some issues, but I'm going to be looking to stay within that that DRS. So we got 7/10 behind. You can see Alex has actually finally made it back up to the McLaren, so he is really pushing here. We're going to follow along with Alex for a bit. He's made some moves in this race. He started in 11th, he's up in the 5th, and now he's pushing for 4th place right now on lap 8 of the sprint. So this one has seemed to fly by. This is a pretty short track, so the laps are not very long. But he will be into the DRS zone of EJ coming through the final turn here. And here we go. This will be, I think, his final push up to gain a place here. We're going to switch to not the onboard. It seems to be a little less laggy this way. As you can see, EJ has a little bit of trouble there on that corner. Alex is going to be pressuring hard. He's looking to make the pass here. But he remains patient. He's staying behind them. He knows that there's only so much you can do on this track. There's really not too many areas to pass without being very, very dangerous. More than likely taking you and someone else out of the race, which is not what we want here. And I must say, this has been a rather clean sprint. There hasn't been any yellow flags. But the field spread out pretty quickly, actually, I should say. I didn't expect that to be such a fast drop-off. As you can see, Dominic and Blitz have just continued to grow their lead. They're almost 6 seconds up on 3rd place. So, far and away, the two quickest people here. Alex, I imagine, could stay with them. He's had his hands full fighting through the pack, though. Wow, don't you just love how that Aston Martin looks? That car is just absolutely... Honestly, there's not a whole lot of cars on the grid this year that I think are ugly. I like most of them. So you can see they're coming through the hairpin corner here. Alex is looking to just gain every bit of time that he can through all of the corners here. He's probably going to try to wait till last lap or two to make his move, as EJ has begun flashing up there in front of him, so he is set to make a pass here going into the final lap of the race. So let's go ahead and look here while we got some position changes. So EJ and Alex both, actually. I didn't even mention EJ. He's also pushed up 5 places in this race, and Alex is at 6. So those are arguably the two drivers of the day here. They have made some crazy moves as Alex goes down the inside here, that first straight. Does his best to give the time up. As you can see, EJ comes Oh, they're wheel to wheel going through into the next section. EJ's going to open that DRS. And we'll see. He's going to have to go around the outside for this move. Alex does well defending there. They have a little bit of a bunch up. And now Trev has managed to catch up here. We'll see what... This is going to get interesting. As Trev is now pressuring. And I'm wondering if Alex is on low fuel mode here. Having to lift and coast. Yeah, as you can see, he's only getting up into 6th gear there. All the way down into 1st around these corners, so he's got to be careful there. They're going to come across the line here. Trev did manage to get past EJ here, so that's a little bit of a consolation for his unfortunate start to the race. As you can see, they finished there. As our standings have it now, we got Dominic, Blitz, and Fuzzle as our sprint podium, with Alex not too far behind. Trev, EJ, Slender, Kane, Nick, Rhino, there. We got Dark Cat, Mac, and our final two, Kufu and Coins, coming across the finish line here shortly. They're actually coming through the final sector right now. I don't think there will be any opportunity for a pass here, so just coast to the finish line. It is what it is. This is only the sprint. As you can see, that I think in the sprint only the top 8 get points, so a little bit unfortunate for those that dropped out of that range. But again, you're not getting the most points from the sprint. You're getting the most points from the race, and that's what we're here for. So this is driver of the day, Alex. I think we all could have guessed. He had an absolutely amazing sprint here. This should do numbers for him going into the real race. If I remember correctly, I think the sprint standings are how you start in the race. Yeah, that's exactly right, Ryan. You got to have a comeback here in the race. That's exactly right. So here we go. There's our points earned. And it looks like our fastest lap was Blitz on the day, 1:18.4. If I'm not mistaken there. I didn't see anyone else that had a faster time. Oh boy, wet race. This should be good. This should be good. Should make for an interesting strategy. I'm not sure if it's supposed to rain throughout or if it'll dry up, but we will find out shortly. So here we go, formation lap. We're starting on inters. Wet race time. This track is very difficult on the wet track. Yeah, we have a lot of wet races in this league. I've never seen anything like it. We already have a couple disqualifications from the formation lap. Let's hope that doesn't affect our actual race. Hate to see some people DSQ'd. Well, this is interesting. We have 4 DSQs already on our formation lap. This could be to the point where if they don't get to race, we could have a restart here. I doubt it. I think the game supposedly is fixed on that front, so they will be patiently waiting for the rest of the grid to pull in. And my assumption was right, actually. So your finishing position on a sprint weekend actually is your starting position for the race, which is nice, actually. That's good, because you hate to start in 11th, move all the way up to 4th, and then get knocked all the way back down, just to have to do it again in the race. Although there's plenty more laps to make up time, but you just lose so much time from the front pack that way. It's never ideal. We gotta turn on. I'm very disappointed in this game for not just keeping my settings saved. I'm gonna turn the telemetry off for the race here. So go TV pod. It's actually raining quite a lot, so we'll see. I'm gonna have to rely on on chat for our weather reports again, because I unfortunately it will not tell me as the commentator. As a spectator, I don't get to see the weather. It'd be nice if I did, but because we have another DSQ. Hopefully, all will go well once the lights get going. Our final couple of cars pulling in, and we are locked and loaded. So here we go. This is the start of BRS Season 4, Division 1, Round 6. We're in Portugal racing in the rain. What a time to be alive. This should be a good one. I'm excited. I hope everyone else is excited. I hope the drivers are ready to go. Somehow, we have I'm not sure what's going on here. Now, suddenly the Williams has jumped in the first place. This could be bad for the lobby. Although I think hopefully that'll sort itself out, but... Oh, lights are out. And we're racing in Portugal. Someone is disconnected. Hopefully they can get back into the race before it's too late. We're up, and here we go into turn 1. This track changes so much compared to dry and wet conditions. It's a hard one to nail, because you don't get much practice in the rain in this game. They haven't helped us out. That as we have someone going off the track already. That looked like it was Kane back there, and the AlphaTauri has been sent off track. As you can see, we have a few people up at the front. We got a little pack here starting to form already. You can see where our fall off happens. It's right after we got Slender in 5th, and then Rhino behind, and here's where the pileups happen. We have a caution. A Haas has been sent off, so we'll see. As you can see, the race strategy, actually, let's take a time out here. There's race strategy at the bottom, inters, so it seems like it's going to be wet the whole race for now. This game loves to change the forecast halfway through, so we'll see if that holds true. You gotta love it. Here we go into lap 2. So you can see just how much slower you have to take some of these corners in the rain. It's very, very, very slippery out there. Even on the inters and the wet tires, it is not easy. I wish my our leaderboard wouldn't completely block the entire track, but what can you do? So you can see Dominic starting to pull away here. And we have a little bit of a glitch. It says Blitz is already a minute behind, so I'm not sure if there's a glitch in the game or what's going on, but the question is, I actually think it's just the like the spectating broadcast menu that tends to get glitched out sometimes, so we'll turn that off for now because it's not going to help us anymore. We will continue to follow along here. As you can see, these two are starting to pull away yet again. We got the AlphaTauri shortly in front of Alex in the Aston. We'll go on board here for a second. He's going to try to chase him down here through Sector 1. You can see, like, the line of the track is so, you just have to be really careful because you can see where everyone's driving. If you just get off of that even just a little bit, your grip goes from bad to worse, and that is not what you want in a race. You can see we got the Alpine. I have to be honest, I love the way the Alpine looks and sounds. Personally, one of my favorite cars to drive in this game. It could just be the camera. The camera for this is phenomenal. I don't know what's different from this one versus the others, but you can see EJ has actually fallen a few spots. I'm not sure if he got into a little bit of trouble back there as he's wheel to wheel with Trev. Going through the final corners here. That's a difficult task to do here in the wet. Oh my goodness. As Coins darts down the inside here. Oh wow, you can't even hardly even see each other. Little train beginning to form between these three as Trev's going to try to make the pass, has to back out last second. That is dangerous right there. EJ goes down the outside, takes advantage of that little bit of slip there. Goes a little too wide into that corner though. That's going to cost them. And no DRS, so the rain has not, oh my word, what is happening here? We are 3 wide, good lord, that is scary. Trev shoots through the middle. That was actually a very clean move. Scary, but worked out well, so I can't blame him for that one. We're going to go back into some broadcast here. We have a penalty, actually, for Fuzzle up there at the front, so unfortunate. And you can see Dominic, actually, the McLaren teammate, has managed to pull a gap. So even if DRS does come back online at some point, he is outside of that 1 second range already. So that is going to just help him, honestly, so much. Like, unless there's a caution or something, this is huge for him because you can't. It's not very easy to just come back into that with without help of a safety car, especially in the wet. So you can see he actually has a little bit of oversteer there. And we're going to actually move down the pack here. There's quite a cluster back here. This is getting good. There, wheel to wheel. We have about 5 cars here all fighting for position. As you can see, the Williams has a little bit of trouble on that exit there. Gives EJ the move. He's going to try to go down the inside. He does not. The Williams here. Wow, what? That was unfortunate there. Wonder if he's just lost a little bit of a front wing. He smacked into the back of the car. That's probably a penalty. Yeah, actually, there's some front wing damage right there you can see, so that's going to hurt him in the long run. We have another 3-second penalty handed out to the Haas. And a virtual safety car, so everyone will have to remain under the delta. Good for Dominic. He'll be able to keep his lead. And he's actually going to dive into the pits early here, so that's not the worst play there if it's going to rain. This could come back to hurt him, though, if it ends up, the rain ends up stopping later on. That could be a problem, but you can see he's going to go from inter to inter, and he's back out on the track. He loses one position. We have a couple more cars driving into the pits, which will be Fuzzle and Alex. Let's see what we got on some tire changes here. In and out on the inters. So the Alpine actually moves up into third here for now. And I imagine we will have some battling going on to get those positions back, as we have someone leave the session. I'm not sure if we've had a couple disconnects or what. So we're gonna have a little bit. I think this has turned into a full-blown safety car now. So honestly, everyone who is pitted at this point and during the virtual, I honestly couldn't tell you if this is helping or hurting them. We'll see how. I guess it's really going to depend on who all else tends to pit. I'm feel a little bit bad for Dominic because he's going to lose all of his time that way, but we need to send out some invites here to a few users. Let's see who else. We do not have him on the friends list, so so we have a few people who seem to have gotten disconnected. One of them should be back. The other one did not add me as a friend, so he will not be getting back into the race, I don't think. I don't know that I can accept friend requests mid-race, but here we go. As everyone, we have a couple in the pits, so we got EJ back there pitting. We'll have more than likely one more lap as we got, let's see. Where's the username? Sorry, everyone. It's unfortunate sometimes this game has some disconnect issues, so we got to try and get these people back in. Although this guy's not showing up on my friends list, even though... Let's see, maybe it'll update here. As you can see, this issue tends to occur where the friends list doesn't want to load. Sorry, everyone. The safety car is kind of boring anyway, so it's hard to commentate. I'm trying to make sure that we have everyone that we need. I appreciate you. Kane, you are my guy, dude. Absolute legend. Keeping it together. So I think hopefully everyone's back in the race. I still see a couple ghosted cars, so hopefully he's able to come back before the safety car goes in. I think we're going to have one more lap, and then we'll be good to go. Yeah, we may need to have a little bit of a board discussion about our weather here. It seems to rain every race. So hopefully we can fix the weather and fix everyone crashing, because that seems to be a problem. Even in the dry track, I shouldn't even blame it only on the wet weather. But gonna have a good restart here. Most drivers, I think, have already had their pit stops taken care of, so if it were to, actually, and I shouldn't even say that, because in the wet, I don't even think you're required to make a pit stop if you don't want to, so that's nice, but it's always good to have fresh tires at some point, so the safety car is good chance to do that for yourself. So here we go. We're going to be coming through the final couple of turns. Let's hope that I see the safety car in this lap, because it'd be unfortunate if not. Safety car is, in fact, in this lap, so... So here we go. We got Blitz set to take care of the restart for us. And as you can see, he's going to go nice and slow up until whenever he's ready, probably on this straightaway here. He's going to do his best to get the jump on the grid. And we are back. So him and Dominic take off. Alpine pretty close behind, so not too big of a jump there on that restart. We got everyone. A Mercedes has already been taken out. We have another caution. Hopefully he's off track enough to where that won't lead to a safety car. Appears as though, oh nope, we have the safety car entering the track. I can see. That is just sad. You do not need a safety car for that. Unfortunately, I did not get to see what happened, but I did see it on the mini-map. He was the only one who did not make the turn there, so I'm not sure if he got pushed off track or what happened there, but we'll be under safety car once again in Portugal. For what up until now, it was pretty clean. Yeah, that'll happen in a wet race. Connor, are you Coins? Is that your user in game? Just to clear that up. It's unfortunate when the safety car comes out for this, though, because I like the pack is all together already. So hopefully we should only have about one lap. But okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of that, like, especially in a wet race, it's hard to, there's nothing much you can do about a situation like that. There's only, like, you try your best to stay out, but also you want to be aggressive to overtake and things like that. So you got to just do what you can. Some of it comes down to luck at the end of the day. Let's hope everyone will be a little bit more respectful on this restart and realize, you know, we got a wet track and we have 23 more laps to go. You don't need to pass everyone in turn one. You can pass them on the straight. You got plenty of time to do it. We're going to have plenty of battery because everyone's going to be saving on this safety cars back to back. There's no need to force yourself. Well, I just meant clean as in there hadn't been any safety cars yet. I don't mean that the driving was necessarily perfect. I don't think the driving will ever be perfect unless we suddenly turn into esports drivers. And again, I think there will be some serious talk, I think, from the stewards and some of the committee members here afterwards as far as who will remain on Tier 1 and switching to Tier 2 and stuff when that becomes a thing, because I think we can all agree the quality has not been great. We've had so many safety cars and so many races. I mean, even in Imola last week, it was a mess. And I was driving that race, and it was chaotic. But again, another wet weather race. It's hard to really fault anyone because you don't get much practice on wet tracks. So I mean, it's just one of those things you gotta deal with at some. Like, I'm not exactly sure how we're supposed to fix that, but maybe there needs to be a weekly practice race off stream, off everything, where people, you know, like, or maybe like not even a practice race, just like open lobbies where people, like, we do 5-lappers and people have to be held to the same standards that you would be in a league race, and that'll help people out, at least for learning, like, the awareness of it, because it's hard to know, like, some people may not even have their settings right to where you even know if there's cars coming up on your left and right, so they cut across the racing line without even realizing there's someone on their inside or outside. So it's just, there's a combination of things that'll cause all of this, and it's unfortunate. Got to deal with it. We're here to race, have a good time. It's not that serious. We are all amateur drivers at the end of the day. It's about having fun and enjoying what we're doing. We're racing on one of the best tracks in the game right now. One of the most fun tracks. Maybe not the best track. That's a little over the top. Well, at least it's during the safety car. There's worse things that could happen. You could have full spin. You could have sent it into a wall, taken off your front tire. Plenty of problems. Here we go. Safety car in this lap. Dominic stops the grid. He is not having it. He allows Blitz to go around. Oh, wait. Are we not safety car in this lap? It flashed at the top, I thought. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it is. We'll know shortly here, regardless. And moment of truth, the safety car has entered the pit lane. Thank God. We will be racing again here. Blitz will be control of the restart as he takes off early, actually. Good Lord, he flew out of that corner. Dominic keeps pace with him. Got a few cars shortly behind. And hopefully this restart will be much cleaner than the one before. I don't see anyone having issues. Someone's in the pit. Let's check on that, actually. This is a front wing replacement for the Alpine. Oh, look at that color. Like shiny blue. That was crazy. So here we go. A little bit of slip there from Dominic. We got some fighting in the midfield here. Hopefully clean fighting. It's unfortunate that we've had two drivers DNF already due to incidents on track, but the stewards will try to handle that afterwards. Here we go, into Sector 3. We don't have a safety car yet on the opening lap, so this is good news. The field is going to start to spread out here a little bit, so it should make the rest of this smooth sailing, hopefully. We're going to definitely have some overtakes here. I wish the track would dry up. If anybody's in the race right now, if you could give me, like, potentially someone who obviously doesn't have a lot at stake, or someone who has the time to do it, I'd love a weather report in the chat real quick so I could update the stream, because I'm not sure. Fortunately, it won't let me. And there, Alex is given a 3-second there for track limits. Again, there's only so much you can do in the wet. I'm sure if it was egregious, we'll have the stewards look at that and potentially take that out. But for now, it is a 3-second against the Aston. As you can see, they're actually battling back there. Him and Slender were going at it into that corner. Alex manages to hold him off here. And we have a few cars that have fallen. I didn't see them pit. Maybe they did. I didn't look at the side. I was more focused on the cars in front. Dominic has started to extend the lead a little bit here. I'm going to check and see, now that we've had a safety car, if our interval is working. It is, thankfully. So if BRS were to come back online, Dominic is clear of that from Blitz behind right now. But Blitz is not clear of that from behind. He's got Fuzzle and Trev hot on his tail trying to make a pass here. As he's going to... Oh, Lord. Fuzzle's going to go around the outside. He actually pulls off the move. Wow, that was an incredible move there, overtaking Blitz into that corner, and then now we have Trev going down the inside. Not sure how that'll work out. It does not. So here we go. We got battling for podium spot right now. They're wheel to wheel going through these corners. Oh, and Trev has a little bit of a spin moment there. He manages to catch it, which was pretty impressive actually, because he stayed within a few tenths of the car in front, so he'll be good to go for the rest of the race. Alex is falling back a little bit. I imagine his track limits penalty has set him off course a little bit, but he's going to look to settle back in here, make some moves. He's only about 5 tenths out from being in DRS. I hope DRS comes back online. I keep talking about it like it's on right now. It's not. Which is unfortunate, but again, the wet weather ruins everything. It's the worst. We have quite the gap here. So this is where these are cars that I think have pitted again from that last safety car. So they're going to be hoping for another incident on track there to get back up to the pack, as Dominic just continues to extend his lead here. He's up to almost 5 seconds. As Blitz, I think, has had a moment because Fuzzle got around him. I'm losing my memory. I can't even remember now. I think Blitz was either ahead in the last time I checked, or he was already behind him. But anyway, over 4 seconds from the front runner here. I find it hard to believe that anyone will be able to match the pace to catch up to that. But we're still fighting for podiums, and that's what's important here. As now that I say that, though, Fuzzle has opened up 2.5 seconds on Blitz behind, so he is beginning to lose pace. I'm wondering if he has some sort of wing damage, maybe. We have another penalty handed out to Nick there, 3 seconds. I don't even need to say it anymore, just the way it goes in the wet weather. So you can see Alex is closing the gap slightly to the car in front, so he's going to be trying to push as much as he can to get up to Trev, and then Blitz after that. But he's starting to run out of time here. We are 50% through the race. A little bit under 50%, but you know, you got the idea. He's actually, Trev must have had a little bit of a moment. He's just managed to catch about 4/10 there on that corner. So he's right back in this thing. He's going to be not too far behind Blitz. If he can make the pass here on Trev, he's going to be looking good. As we'll go back, let's see, who else do we have having a good battle? We got our Williams here in the 6 and 7 spot. They're both not much battling going on. I imagine they want to be respectful of their teammates, so that's not surprising there. Other than that, we have Nick pushing on Slender here. He's going to try to make a move here. Nick is someone who definitely has the pace to be up there in the front group, so he's had some good performances in previous races, so it's just going to see what he can do there. As he tries to make a little bit of a risky dive bomb there. I would not have done that if it was me. That probably hurt him more than it helped, but he remains on the tail. He's going to be trying to push here. It's hard to tell. We don't know the battery situation unless I were to go into the telemetry settings, but he obviously has some because he makes the pass clear on the straightaway there, and that moves him up into 8th place, so he will be looking to push and get up to the Williams. Actually, they're going to be battling back and forth a little bit. He gets sent wide. There was a little bit of contact, I think. The Slender is going to try to go back down the inside here. He's going to be using that battery. They're going to go wheel to wheel into this corner or not. Nick is able to hold him off, so good for him. Oh, wait, he goes wide, so he's able to keep his position, but that is not ideal in terms of getting up to the 7th place car in front of him. I want to move back up. This little train we got going right here can be quite interesting. We're trying to see some action here. Rhino is shortly behind Alex, and Alex is trying his best to push up to Trev, who is falling back from Blitz, actually. So all of this just to say that Dominic is dominating. If you could have guessed, he is the front runner. He's pushing over 8 seconds from the 2nd place car, so this is game, set, match for him as long as he can keep it clean. I imagine he can. He's actually getting dangerously close to being able to catch those Haas in front of him. We'll see. They've seemed to have quite a few moments on this track, so I wouldn't be surprised if before the end of this race he's able to do some lapping. But we'll see. If anything, that just probably helps him enjoy it a little bit more, gives him some action. He's been in the front pretty much the whole time. Him and Blitz were battling. Had a good battle during the sprint, actually. I will say that was some of the best racing of the season so far, I'd say. It's unfortunate that Melvin isn't here to get in on this because he's also rapid. He would definitely be up here fighting with some of these guys as well. As you can see, Alex is falling back here a little bit, so we're going to move up into Trev, see if he can't do something here. He's going to be pushing as much as he can to try and get to this Red Bull. The problem is in the wet track, it's so hard to push and try to be clean at the same time. You have to be smart and take the right line. As you can see, like, without even noticing the tire tracks, you can tell which parts of the track are dry from driving and wet. So leaving that dry section really does helps cool the tires, hurts the speed at the end of the day. So when it's raining constantly like this, tire temperature shouldn't be too much of an issue. As you can see, he has a little bit of a moment there. I can't tell if that's just lag or if that's him struggling a little bit. He's now falling back to over a second behind. So we're going to move back in the pack again to the Williams, who is 7/10 behind the Aston Martin AlexFrush. So they come around the corner here. Difficult corner to stick. This one you lose a lot of grip if you're too early on the throttle, so you got to be smart. You can see he actually did just that because he's gone a little bit wide here. And is now lost to over a second. So now, we don't even have a single car within a second except for Raging Rhino here on the track. So everyone is quite spread out. This is going to help limit the safety cars. However, it does make for a rather unfortunate race action because I think most of the passing is probably done for the day. Dark Cat has actually made it into within a second, so that's good. We got the two Williams pushing to try and make it up to that Aston Martin, who's only falling further back from the cars in front. And only to say they are all falling further back from the race leader, Dominic, who is now locking up actually going into that turn, but recovers. And we have a safety car, so a Haas has taken it into the wall, I'm afraid. I don't know the damage on the car, but that is probably actually what everyone was hoping for here, because including myself, because now we will be back to race action here. We're gonna go back to the lead racer, turn off some of our things covering the screen, and I will be right back shortly. I'm going to hope that the safety car doesn't last too long, but everyone is so spread out. I'm imagining we get at least 3 laps. Alright, while we were away, I imagine some pit stops are happening. I can see we got an Aston Martin in there, looks like an Alpine, maybe a Williams, Ferrari, and McLaren, so quite a few people diving into the pits here. Not a bad idea, because we are going to have not too many laps left before the end of this race. Only 12 or 13 remaining, so, and who knows how many will be under safety car here. We got at least 2 more laps under safety car. Hold on. I am being reported that we have a car and going on to medium, so Blitz has made it onto mediums here. This is going to be an interesting strategy going forward. He is slipping and sliding. I wonder if the track is drying up, though. This could be a huge strategy play if the track starts drying up, although it's still raining, so I really am not sure that I get this strategy play. Onto the slicks for the last stint of the race, more than likely. Hopefully, we'll see. We probably will have more safety cars. This is huge, actually. This is an interesting play. One that I was definitely not expecting. I don't think anyone else has made a risky move like that. As the Haas are going to be trying to catch up with the rest of the pack. We're going to have some time under safety car for sure. Wow, so this is going to be an interesting little move here. I'm wondering if he Oh, 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 oh. I'm wondering if he was... What's going on here? Is he trying to let him through, or... This will be quite an interesting play here. I'm surprised to see the mediums, honestly. This is really throwing me for a loop here. I'm trying to decide if I think that's a good idea or not. Because this is a race winner / race loser right here. If you go on the mediums and it keeps raining for the rest of the track, the inters are going to be so much faster. Uh-oh, and we have a 5-second given out to Alex for ignoring a yellow flag. I imagine that'll get taken off. Some of those penalties are a little questionable on this game. It tends to hand you some when you're not really doing anything, so... I don't know that the... Uh-oh. There's someone stopped on the track back there. And it is an Alpine who's gone off. He is going to try to make it back to the pack. So I think safety car in this lap, so he's going to have to hurry, actually. He needs to make it back to the group quickly, or he will be in a terrible position on the restart here. If I were him, I am absolutely hammering the throttle. Oh, he actually might have a huge run here. Someone dives into the pits, so we have a Williams going in. Probably some contact there. That's not what you want to see. That is... As you can see, there's gonna be some struggle on the mediums here. I do not think that was a great play. Spins out. He's gonna lose a lot of places there. Spins out again. And we have a caution out. Hopefully he can get it straightened around. He's gonna have to go back into the pits and put on some inters if he wants to finish this race. So we're gonna jump back into the action here. Dominic has taken another commanding lead already, not even half a lap through. It's absolutely insane how fast this man is compared to the grid. We have Trev shortly behind, and Alex actually has made it up into third place, so he's gonna be looking to make some time up on some of the drivers behind, because he has a couple penalties that are gonna come back and hurt him. As a matter of fact, we're going to do a little bit of a check-in here on some penalties. We got 8 seconds for Alex, 3 for EJ, 3 for Nick, 8 for Raging Rhino, 6 for Slender. We got 3 for there. Kufu's got a 3, and then we got a drive-through for Blitz and Fuzzle. So that is race ending right there, especially at this point. I don't think there's much you can do about that. We have EJ and Alex actually battling here. Losing time on the leaders, though, because of it. However, it's a little bit of one of those things where is it even worth trying to work together and move up to the front at this point, because there's so much time in front of them. It's really more about trying to secure your position, so I don't blame them for trying to get up there. So we got Blitz has dropped all the way into last with those mediums. He's in the pits now, serving that drive through. Not sure how those mediums are going to work. We have our Haas in the back on 11 lap old inters, and as you can see, he's still struggling to manage to stay on track there. Here's our position. So everyone has seemed to gain position, it looks like, aside from Fuzzle, Blitz, and Williams and the AlphaTauri who are already out. So honestly, most people in the race still can be pretty happy with their performance. It's just how do you feel good about getting demolished by Dominic? You know, it's hard to feel happy when you're getting gapped a second a lap by the fastest dude in the lobby. It's unfortunate, especially in a race like this. He's already so far ahead of the points. It's almost just let him do his thing. We're going to worry about their battles in the midfield, you know. That's where the point difference comes in. You're going to want to, especially Alex here, he's got to make up some ground for sure. He did not get to race for the first 5 rounds for BRS, so he's going to be looking to make up some of those points in the upcoming races here. He's doing pretty good today. The penalties, like I said, I'm not sure exactly how the stewards will handle that, if he's going to try to appeal any of his penalties or not, but we will see. And Nick is actually closing in behind him. He's managed to make a pass on EJ, who's wheel-to-wheel with the Williams. And the Williams, I think, is going to make it by him as well. So that puts Raging Rhino up in the 5th. Pretty good race from him today. EJ's actually going to try to come back at him. He's going to use that battery, and he gets through on the straightaway. So here we go, and EJ's a little wide. Rhino's wheel-to-wheel with them. Who has the better line here? That's what it'll come down to. I think it's going to be EJ, because he'll have the inside on this corner. Oh, the switchback from the Williams, and he pulls it off. What a move there. So he makes it through on the hairpin turn. That was quite a switchback there from Raging Rhino. I think Dark Cat had a little bit of a battle. There was someone he was fighting with, and he, I think, lost it from that and DNF'd. Oh, okay, so you're on the mediums. Yeah, I can't say that mediums would have been the best strategy option in my opinion. It does seem to be drying up now, but it was a little too early at the time. We're going to have another caution as one of the Haas has gone off the track. What's happened here? He's spun. And he's trying to get himself back on track. He does. And not before the Red Bull has managed to gain several seconds on him. So we'll come back to that later as we got Alex and Nick battling. We're going to follow along with this here. We're going to go on board. We're going to stay away from that. Audio was absolutely horrible. Nick is trying to make a move here. See if Alex can hold him off and for how long. We have another 3-second penalty handed out to one of the Haas drivers. So, as rough as this race could have been going into it, it didn't turn out that bad. We have another Haas spinning out. I think it's time to just go ahead and call it for them. They have been struggling all day. Although we have one of them is actually moving up. He's in the 9th place, so that's into the points. We got our other Red Bull struggling. He's still out there in those mediums. So again, that's one of those strategy calls, risk it for the biscuit, didn't go well, as Nick goes around the outside super aggressively. I'm not sure what he was thinking there. Alex holds him off for now. I'm not entirely sure that wouldn't have been an illegal overtake anyway. They go up the hill, back down the hill. Alex has managed to give himself a little bit of space here. We'll see if Nick tries to make some overly aggressive move again to try to get up a spot. We're closing in on the finish of this one. He has a 5-second penalty for like something to do with ignoring a caution or a yellow flag, and then he has a 3-second. I'll show off the penalties real quick for you. He's actually in good position now though, because everyone else behind him has also picked up penalties. So if he can just manage to get up a little bit of a gap there, he can definitely keep himself on the podium. Yeah, we had a couple drivers switch to a medium tire strategy when it was still raining. Trying to risk it. Didn't work out. They have now made it to the back of the pack since then, unfortunately. We're going to go back on board now. We have a Williams who's made it up. The Rhino. I don't know why the audio is being so poor. But we have a fight for the podium. As actually we have a safety car coming out here. There's been another accident. You can see Fuzzle going back into the pits, so I'm not sure if he's serving his drive-through or if he's actually planning on... He is. So he's putting on some soft tires. Oh boy. And it has started to dry up a little bit, so I don't necessarily hate this strategy play here, but it's going to be a little bit of a struggle if it doesn't dry up rather quickly. I imagine the leaders of the race are going to stay out on inters because there's no... If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's actually doing the smart thing, letting the Red Bull through. And Nick, oh my gosh, we have a DNF. What's happened here? He has DNF'd on the straight, the start-finish line, so not exactly sure what happened there, but he is now out of the race. Unfortunately, that is so close to the finish line, too. That is the worst. We have a few more people pitting. We'll see if the strategy changes for anyone. I think most people are probably going to be switching to softs at this point if you're in the pits, because the track is beginning to dry. You can see it a little bit. The rain has stopped. The question is, will there be enough time for them to make up enough places for that to be worth doing? And we will find out shortly if this oh my gosh. Dominic has just crashed into the safety car. Hopefully that, I don't know that just gave him wing damage or not, but that's not good if it did. I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. I think it ghosted him in time, hopefully. Wow, that was scary. That could have been quite a situation. So we have a few cars in the back. I'm still trying to catch up. Hopefully we will have 2 laps, or 2 or 3 laps of racing at the end. So let's go and do a tire check. So we have inters for most of the field except for, let's see here, we got a Red Bull that's caught up a little bit, I think, in some, yeah, there he is. So he's actually our last place driver currently, but he's still out there on the mediums. I'm not sure if he is a lap down or what. Timing is all messed up there because we have an alpha back here that's 42 seconds behind, and he's supposedly 49 seconds behind 9th place. So not sure what's going on there, but we are going to turn this off again because it takes up so much of the screen. So I actually I think we'll go on board here. I don't know, what do you guys think? Who do we want to see? Who do we want to be on board with for our final restart of the race? Who do we think is going to make the most moves? Have the best strategy play? I'm thinking EJ might be the one. He's got the soft tires. I think he's pretty limited on his penalties. 6 seconds, so not great, not the worst. We want to go Alex. Okay, we'll go on board with Alex for the restart. I think this will be it, actually. The safety car. Safety car is in, so this is back to racing right here. So you can see Dominic has a little bluff there with the tire, weaving back and forth, and then he takes off here. So it'll be interesting to see. So here we go. Alex has fallen off just a little bit from the lead racers. Trev is trying to keep the pressure on Dominic. I'm not sure that he'll be able to make anything happen. It'll be interesting to see if DRS comes back online here for the last couple of laps. I doubt that it will, but you never know. So we have another 3 second handed out to Alex. So he's struggling a little bit with the wet track conditions. Track limits can be tricky for sure. Curious to see. Let's move over to EJ. I'm curious to see what he's doing on those softs, which are a little bit difficult. Yeah, he's sliding a little bit there, so I think the track stayed a little too wet for the soft tires, unfortunately, but I think he should be able to hang on to his points at least. So here we go through the final corners. Dominic is going to take it. Trev will be our second place. And I think we'll have to see how these penalties sort everything at the end, because I think We may have a little bit of switching up. They come across the line. Rhino will be our final driver on the podium here. Alex stays in the top 5, so that's a solid first race for him. Again, it's hard to judge with the weather exactly how everyone's going to perform. EJ manages to come across in 6th, even after the soft tire change there towards the end. So overall, decent race. We had a few DNFs, but nothing overly crazy. A few safety cars slowed things down a bit, but GG's to everyone. We will wait for our final racers to finish. To Haas wiggling past the finish line. And there you have it. I'm sorry about this audio. I do not know. Like, this, it must be... This is horrible. Like, what is this? Come on. Underbody damage? Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I figured so, Alec. The safety car penalty didn't seem very... it's very fidgety with handing those out, so... There you have it. Portugal. Yeah, so the whole audio in this game is messed up right now. I'm not exactly sure why that's happening. I'm sorry, this sounds horrible. My gosh, this is hurting my ears. There's your sprint standings and the race standings. And the overall, so we have 34 points given to Dominic as if he needed any more points to gain his lead. Trev with a nice weekend comes home with 22. Alex, our 3rd place on the weekend, 15 points, tied with Rhino for 15 as well. So there you have it. Hopefully this will end quickly. My ears are on fire from this. Volume is horrible. Anyway, so thanks everyone for tuning in. I appreciate everyone being here. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the race. Hopefully next weekend we have a more dry weather. Because it has been a rough one here on the wet weather tracks recently. But we will see you guys next time. Thank you again for tuning in, and peace out.